The rest of the story. When natural disasters compound one another, naturalists take notice, as did British geologists Graham Harris and Anthony Beardo. For the apocalyptic convergence of events they described in 1995 will surely echo down the corridors of natural history forever after. Here's how it happened. There's a geological rift in the area, an extensive fault primed for lateral movement between the adjoining plates. That's the first accident waiting to happen. By significant coincidence, there's a large lake nearby due west and bitumen mines everywhere. The stage was set for hell on earth. Well, the earthquake comes first, a big one, 8, perhaps 9 on the Richter. Underground intense heat is building, eventually liquefying rocks and soil and everything on the surface. Flammable gases spew from the molten depths, and the omnipresent bitumen volatile ignites. Now the world is roaring, rumbling, trembling, melting, and on fire. What could be worse? This. You remember the nearby lake? Hundreds of square miles, hundreds of feet deep. It's heaving. The heaving generates a massive tidal wave, a towering wall of water that rushes landward at terrifying speed. So by the cessation of the great quake, there is a newer, bigger lake with a longer, wider shoreline. The incredible, barely imaginable show for now is over. The earth itself becoming liquid. Oh yes, it happens. It happened in 37 BC, in which year the entire town of Hellas in ancient Greece simply melted, as did thousands of square miles of modern China in 1921, and part of Valdez, Alaska 3 decades later, utterly liquefied. But the remarkable concurrence of earthquake, geological liquefaction, and bituminous brimstone, fire, and tsunami, which geologists Harris and Beardo describe, could such have occurred as spectacularly either before or since? And yet their anatomy of an apocalypse, the result of years of painstaking study of the relevant geological profiles and compositions and formations of that region, their hellish analysis of all that you have heard is not quite complete. For the lake waters, which ultimately engulfed the entire area 1900 years before Christ, were and are extremely saline. In fact, in those days, millennia ago, the landlocked lake was full of salt flows. So as the tidal waves subsided, there were doubtless innumerable sizable chunks of solidified salt washed up on the newly formed beaches, among them perhaps an obelisk, upright the size of a man, or maybe a woman. Is that what he saw? Harris and Beardo ask. Is that what Lot of biblical Genesis observed as he returned the next day from his safe haven in the mountains, searching for a wife swept away into the Dead Sea? Believers say, now and always, that the pillar of salt was Lot's wife. But now, should you wish to envision the devastation wrought by the hand of God 4 millennia ago, you will know the story was not only recorded on the scrolls and in men's hearts, but is written in the rocks of the Vale of Siddim, where once upon a nightmare sat the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, because now you know the rest of the story.